Michelle are podcast's most interesting and loving couple. Join them every week as this radio personality and this author come together to let you into their lives.
Spread me apart, lick me with your tongue, grab my sides, and eat my cream. And that's how you eat an Oreo cookie.
Come on, man.
I didn't know that's what we were calling it now.
An Oreo cookie?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Well, in order to get that Oreo cookie, you gotta be able to perform.
Truth.
And by the help of one of our people, Drew, he may or may not have gotten an ad. But we've got to read some of the testimonials of this ED pill.
Oh, definitely.
That's supposed to be 7 times what Viagra can do.
That's scary.
I don't think that sounds good for the heart.
I mean, most things aren't good for your heart, but that's terrifying.
Okay, so one of the testimonials, wife doesn't understand what has happened, but she likes it. We even stopped arguing all the time. Ordered it on the official website. Delivery is always on time.
Oh.
I decided to make an experiment. This is from Timothy. As soon as it got delivered, I took it and went to my girlfriend. We had sex for 3 hours.
Whew.
I'm in shock.
And she's breaking up with you tomorrow. Who has sex for 3 like nonstop?
I never had anything like this.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Before, you said before. You ended on before. That is so funny.
No, that's scary. No, don't come to me for 3 hours. She had to be dry as the Sahara when he was done.
No.
No, because he doesn't say they had good sex for 3 hours.
I don't think that's fair.
Oh, okay. Life's Not Fair. Buy the t-shirt.
Okay, very good. As I lived with my ex-boyfriend for 5 years, and all that time I didn't like having sex because of his weak boner.
Woo.
As a result, we broke up, and I met the man of my dreams. He shocked me in bed. He can have sex for hours, and his penis is hard as stone. He recently told me that Erection XL, this is not a sponsor.
Okay.
Gives him so much energy. And then they put the biceps emoji, the thumbs up.
I love it.
This is magic.
Oh, all right. Justin Timberlake, get shit off.
I've only been taking the name of the drug for just a month, and results are already exceeding all my expectations. I began having much attention from women. My erection drives them crazy. I used to last only for a couple of minutes, and now I can do it for hours.
A minute is a nut. Like, what is going on with your phallus, sir?
Now he can do it for hours, though. And he put the thank you. He put thank you with the beaming face, the beaming eyes.
Whew.
Oh man.
That's wild.
Wow, I should try this.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay.
Okay? Like, you get a solid 47 minutes from me, okay? Like, so you can try it, and then you're just going to be walking around the house with a stiffy for a while. And then also...
A stiffy is great. That's disrespectful.
I don't think that your heart... you're already old. Can you imagine?
It would be a little difficult.
You would stroke out.
Things would definitely happen. Not good things, though. Let's get into this article because you know I am Petty Betty.
Truth. Can you say that louder? And in Spanish this time, so the other people know.
I have definitely found my petty. I have grown from those days, but I definitely have had some fun. And I think these people had some fun, too. They were upset, and they wanted to get back to their significant others. Some of these stories are wild. You haven't read any of these.
No, I haven't.
Right.
I immediately saw that article, and I said, you know what? This is my husband's
All right.
jam.
I feel so special. I once took scissors and ripped my partner's jean pockets open so all the stuff he puts in there will fall out through the pants.
Damn.
This one is wild. I signed them up for Scientology. The calls, emails, and texts follow you for life.
I knew you signed me up for them stupid Trump emails. I knew it.
Wow, you can't tell them that. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Sign them up for Scientology.
Wow.
I love it. What else you got?
When my ex suddenly ghosted me after a year and then married someone else and had a baby, I went online and bought a bag of candy penises and sent them to him at his office with a note that said, "Eat a bag of dicks." It was only $10 more for the explosion of dick confetti. When he opened the box, I felt like he'd earned it. No one else can give you closure. Bag o' dicks came close.
Man, she was
Well, he certainly balls that up, didn't he?
hurting. I want to know,
Does
was
that make
he
it a fallacy?
sleeping with the girl during the relationship? Because that baby came quick after the marriage. Give us two more.
Holy mother of God! I rubbed the Carolina Reaper on his deodorant. He deserved it, I promise. However, I had put the Reaper on his backup deodorant, and he didn't end up using the spicy deodorant until months later, long after our rough patch had passed.
Ow! They say revenge is a dish best
I
served
felt
cold,
awful,
but wow.
LOL. This is why you need to think about what you're gonna do before you freaking do it, seriously.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yikes! Poured sugar in his gas tank and took a hammer to his windows on his brand new car.
All right, carry on the wood. Get your shit off, bitch.
Yeah, get your Louisville slugger going, jeez.
Oh my God!
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah!
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah!
I think that's
There you cook
like
it.
what she did.
That's a good one right there.
I actually should have put nails in his tires too. I hope you know that it ended just like that.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. All right, then we'll see if we can find one more good one. Holy shit. My ex-husband was a vegan, but I'm a meat eater. When he went out of town about 3 days a week, if he really pissed me off before he left town without being willing to resolve the issue, I'd cook bacon on the days he was scheduled to come home. The smell of bacon. Oh,
that's fantastic.
that's so good. So those are some petty ways people got back at their significant others. Let us know some of your stories at Down in the DM Pod for Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. It is now time for Fatal Attraction, my friends.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
It's when love turns deadly. It's a TikTok, right?
It is a TikTok. It's the one I seen on 105.
A teenage girl thought to herself, if I go to sleep, I may never wake up. But she did a lot more than just wake up. Hello, true crimers. This is the survival case of Kate Moir. Viewer discretion is advised. If you click the comment I have above, you can see my video on Australia's serial killers, the Burnies. But this video, we're going to try to focus mainly on Kate Moir. By October 1986, Kate was a 17-year-old girl living in Western Australia. One late October evening, she was walking home after spending some time with friends when a car pulled up next to her offering her a ride. She said, "You know what? It should be okay because there's a woman in the car." Kate told the couple where she lived, and they actually pulled up to her house. This was under this fake premise that they were going to let her out, but she quickly realized there were no door handles. She was trapped.
Holy shit.
They then took off from her house and drove her to their home. This one, to be exact. They would force the 17-year-old girl inside the house, and they would tie her up. While inside the house, she overheard the TV and the couple watching it. The news station that they were watching was talking about how a few people have gone missing, over the course of just the past couple of weeks. The couple They were laughing at the story. They were making fun of the victims. This is when Kate realized they knew those victims. Kate wasn't just a kidnapped victim. She was likely going to be murdered. So Kate came to the conclusion that she couldn't fall asleep because if she did, she may not wake up from it. And she came up with some pretty clever ideas. Thinking she was probably going to die, she found a scrap of paper and a pen and was able to write down her phone number. She put her phone number under the mattress. She also had one of her own tubes of lipstick in her pocket. She took that and also put it under the mattress. Her thinking was, if she were killed, police could search the house and find out that she was there. She also had a plan in case she managed to escape. She was able to grab hold of a pack of cigarettes in the house and she put it in one of the little ceiling tiles. That way, if she got to police and she told them about the pack of cigarettes, they can go, okay, she was in this house. Kate was tortured and sexually assaulted repeatedly over the course of several days. She managed to have conversations with them, to break them down a little bit, get them to trust her. One day, the gentleman left the house. He said, I'm going to kill you when I get home. So it was just her and the woman. The woman answered the door without tying up Kate. Kate then managed to break the window lock and escape. Kate ran down the street and knocked on several doors with no answers. She then finally came across a man outside of his home. She was bound with her wrists and partially naked, but she told him, I need your help now. So she was brought to the police station. The male police officers there didn't believe her. They laughed at her. They straight up called her a liar. So, they just passed her on to a rookie cop by the name of Laura Hancock. They told her to write the girl up for a false statement. But the 22-year-old cop was like, no, I think she's telling the truth. Now, Kate managed to read the name on a pill bottle inside the house. The name on the bottle was David Burney. When she said that name out loud, the cops were like, wait a minute, we know him. He's been to jail a lot. He's been accused of sexual assault a lot. So suddenly they're like, oh, maybe she's telling the truth. Let's go give it a whirl, huh? Now, David's partner, Catherine Burney, who managed to let Kate escape, once she realized that Kate was gone, she started burning all the evidence they had in the house, except for the things that Kate hid. So when police searched the home, they found all of the items that Kate hid. They knew she was telling the truth. After investigating the Burneys, they determined that they were responsible for the kidnapping and murder of these 4 individuals. So they were arrested and charged with their kidnappings and murders. Both of them received 4 life sentences with the possibility of parole after 20 years. David ended his own life in prison. Catherine has served the minimum term, but she has been denied parole every time she's tried. Kate is now an activist. She stands up for victims of violent crimes, of sexual assaults, and she's been working to make sure that victims don't have to be present during parole board hearings so that they don't have to relive their trauma every 3 years when the prisoner is going up for parole. Kate did a hell of a job. She was really smart for leaving those little clues. And her tenacity likely saved who knows how many lives.
Wow, man. What? Was that wrong? Was that the wrong story?
No, that was the right story.
No, that was a good one.
That was crazy.
It was,
wow.
It was part 2, but I actually like that you played part 2 because I think it's important to acknowledge this woman and, the links that she went to.
On the ID channel.
All right, hold on. Everybody will get a chance to speak. Honey, what do you think? Go first.
No, I just, wow, what a smart woman for thinking to leave those clues. Like, that blows my mind that she was able to pick up on all of that and understood that was what was gonna save her if she was able to find a way out.
I mean, even the fact that she eventually was like, you know what, it might not save me.
Right.
If and when these people are ever caught, they'll know where I was. But the resourcefulness is so respectable. But the fact that so many people, it reminds me of, do you remember a few months ago, the story about the young girl? She was like 12, and the guy tried to abduct her at the bus stop, and she used her science experiment she touched him and her hands were blue. And so when they found him, he had blue handprints on him. Yep. Because she knew that they would eventually find him. And I respect her so much. I'm so glad she became an activist. I'm so glad that she was able to escape. The fact that couple killers are out here is what's wild to me.
Completely.
We as women especially, we always are encouraged, like, oh, you can trust other women, you can trust other women. This woman helped her husband victimize other
and was
women.
able to write down her...
Sorry.
Like, that's wild to me. Shalia, what do you think?
I think that the story of Kate is pretty impressive. I think that this couple is absolutely nuts. And not only did this woman help her husband abduct and kill other women, she then went ahead and burned the evidence for him to try and keep things from turning on them.
Oh, yeah, she's like, no, it's cool, I got you, man.
She's like, I got you, husband. I'm a ride or die bitch, no matter what. Even if we killing folks, we killing folks. Like, what is that?
Do you think that's why they get married? Do you think, like, that's the basis of their marriage? It's like, hey, you do what I do, so let's get married because we kill people.
Oh, you like to kill, and I like to kill, so let's get married so we can kill together.
Wow. I mean, it's possible you can't testify against your spouse.
That's true.
They can't force you to testify against your spouse.
That's
scary stuff right there.
It's scary. Like, we all believe that there's somebody out there for everybody, but to think that your better half is the serial killer is, like, frightening.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It should be to normal people, yes.
Or to think that somebody could bring that out of you. Like, can you imagine meeting somebody who, like, enhances your crazy to the point of, like, oh, let's kill together, babe. Like, that's what we're gonna do for date night. It's just, we're gonna start killing.
Go on a killing spree.
We're just gonna hunt. I mean,
everybody needs something.
I guess.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the laws are like over here, whether testifying against your partner is a no-no or not.
Oh, yeah, true.
Over where? Where are you, sir?
Yeah.
He's in Australia.
I'm actually in South Australia.
Okay. We appreciate you guys being here in Clubhouse. This is from BuzzFeed. It's 37 deal breakers taken from a Reddit post. And this one is really good because it covers everything from when they get jealous. I had a dude I hadn't even met yet get jealous of a guy I had one date with and accused me of lying about him being in my house. And he also got jealous because I said I admired Steve O's sobriety journey and thought he was a cool dude. It was wild. Wow.
That is some insecure shit.
Oh my God. Mind games. If you still want to do that in your 20s or 30s, you are not mentally old enough to be with me. Right?
Agreed.
If you are trying to play hard to get, don't be surprised I assume you're not interested. Have to constantly message and call because they want to be a part of your life every second, even while working. Also, very important to communicate expectations and boundaries on communication. People communicate differently, and these differences can and usually will cause issues if they themselves aren't communicated clearly. For example, one person's default might be to throw messages into the void with expectation. Conversation happens once both people or more, while are available, are responding at the same time. Someone else's default might be to check and respond to messages ASAP. It can quickly become an issue if this difference isn't communicated. I think that's really weird if you're like only on one date and you're obsessing about the time that they respond. That should be a red flag in general. It shouldn't have to even be communicated at that point.
I think any time within the first 90 days of a relationship, if we're talking about, because for me personally, I respond based on how interested I am. So if I'm more interested in you, I'm more likely to respond quicker. But the more you irritate me, like, the less likely I am to respond. So I think that taking that time in the first few months of your relationship to analyze how you really feel about somebody before they can get on your freaking nerves is important too.
This one is wild. Someone who doesn't believe in anything. No passions, no interests, no stances on issues, just molding themselves to whatever they think. I want to hear what that person wants to hear. They will be codependent because they have not developed a sense of self and will rely on me for all mental stimulation. Or B, a person who's secretly got shitty views or toxic habits and is concealing them to try to get me invested. Hard pass.
Those are both so good, but
Both of those are deal breakers.
Both of those are deal breakers, but I'll say the first one brings me so far back because the guy I dated for the longest time in high school, his literal plan after we got out of high school was like, I'm just gonna graduate and I'm gonna find a job wherever you decide to go to college. And I was like, no. Like that was his plan for our forever.
No way.
I was like, you don't want to, there's nothing you want to do? And he was like, nah. And I was like, I'm cool on you. He ended up in prison.
He ended up in prison. Very good.
I think he's out now, but he was there for a while. I mean, that's what happens when you have no guidance.
Somebody said an ex-boyfriend trash talking, especially if it's multiple ex-boyfriends. I just know I would eventually likely be in that pool. That's a good point. This woman said, as a young woman that has dipped her toes into dating, a deal breaker for me is someone who has just come out of a long committed relationship and is out dating without giving themselves a proper healing stage.
Yeah.
She says, this is my ex. I was with him for nearly 3 years, living together for 2. We discussed marriage and kids many times. He blindsided me with a breakup at the beginning of this summer, just stopped communicating with me and became withdrawn. I found out he was on Bumble within a week after the breakup, seeing a long-term relationship. According to the category, he selected no integrity whatsoever. Wow.
Kind of almost sounds like he was cheating before the breakup.
I literally was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, sure the hell does.
It really does.
It does make you wonder.
You know what surprises me? Honey, I don't know if this is on the list, but it surprises me that the more deal breakers we look at as time goes, less and less often we see the word like long distance relationship as deal breakers for people.
Absolutely.
Because technology has made that so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
This one should be one for everyone, though. Someone who's a dick. Common symptoms include being rude to people in the service industry, ridiculous levels of self-importance, lack of compassion, etc. Don't be a dick. And that's so real.
Don't be a dick.
So this is such an incredible list. I mean, there's so many of them. We're going to put this up on our social media so you could read the rest of these stories at Down in the DM Pod. All right, let's jump into this article because some of it is really disgusting.
Oh, no, that's scary.
Okay, yeah. So this is things men didn't know until they lived with a woman. I think this one's really funny. That she owns truly one good bra. There is only one, and part of your duty as a man is to protect the good bra. If you are doing laundry, you must take the greatest of precautions to make sure it is properly clean, dried, and stored. God forbid the good bra ever turns up missing or in the wrong drawer. Ladies, why is there only one good bra?
One way to get your man to keep abreast of the situation.
That's great.
This one kind of grossed me out a little bit. Be sure to have a trash can in every bathroom. And I'm just like, you don't have a trash can in your bathroom? What's happening?
I mean, there are people who don't.
This one is very funny.
That's a woman thing, is it?
Yes. I think that for a lot of people, trash cans in bathrooms are a woman thing because it's associated with
throwing away
feminine things. But like, my husband uses our bathroom trash can all the time, like probably more than me.
This one, the way that I had been folding towels for years was apparently incorrect. I do the tri-fold method. My wife does the double fold method. Oh, well. First argument we had as a married couple, and I lost. This one really grossed me out. Apparently, cleaning the toilet on a regular is much, much more important than I'd previously thought. You nasty mother.
I'm done. I'm done. That is disgusting. What happens? What happens with some of these men? That is disgusting.
Why? Just why?
But you know, I had a male roommate who never cleaned his toilet.
Ew.
Like, I swear, he would clean when I would clean, but it was like, how do you not clean your toilet? like what goes on one day? Like one day I had to pee really bad, and I was gonna use the bathroom, and I went in there, and I was like, I'm gonna hold it.
On with that.
And this is why it's so messed up, because these are guys who have never lived outside of college.
I think it's a combination of guys who've never lived outside of college and guys who've never lived without their mothers.
Yeah, because listen to this one.
Yeah.
Going to the grocery store can turn into reorganizing the entire pantry and refrigerator.
No shit.
Isn't that normal? I don't know it feels just normal, right?
Yeah, but I know so many men that don't know how to grocery shop, though.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not even kidding. When I was with my ex, he literally didn't know how to grocery shop. Like, he would buy hella breakfast food, and then I was like, what are we supposed to eat the rest of the day?
Lunch and dinner.
Yeah. But then I realized that was all he knew how to cook.
Breakfast food is wild.
Serious.
That's wild. What are some of the things that you found out about the opposite sex when you moved in with them? I want to know that. And we're about to do TikTok Teardown. This is where we find a TikTok related to relationships. You know, we have these coaches, these experts, quote unquote, air quotes, of course. And we'll see what they have to say, and then, of course, we just review it.
Women are surprised when they find a guy who can make them come, and straight dudes are surprised when they find a girl who can make them feel genuine feelings in their heart. Like, women are like, he got me off 3 times, and guys are like, I mean, I just fucking like her, dude. Like,
100%.
1,000%.
we talked all day, I didn't want to hit her, it was nuts. Women are surprised when they find a guy
Oh, that's
who can
so
make them
good.
It's the I didn't want to hit her for me. We talked and I didn't want to beat her.
And guys are like,
whoa, your standards are low.
I just fucking like her, dude. Like,
but it's so relevant. Actually, that's why I picked this particular TikTok, because
we talked all day, I didn't want to hit her, it was nuts.
The amount of orgasms women don't get is staggering. So
it's a
when we find
problem.
a dude that it is a problem, and when we find a dude that can make us come, we text everybody like, bitch, my you made me come to we call all our girlfriends. Like, I didn't know this was, I didn't know what
your
orgasm was.
gynecologist.
Yeah, you call her, like, I didn't know. I thought my G-spot was broken.
You go to grandmama's graveside and tell her. Like,
Grandmama, you're gonna be so proud.
Let me tell you something. Women, when we have orgasms with dudes, we react like when dudes find out he actually got a girl pregnant. Like, dudes be like, I've been fucking wrong for 12 years. I never got a bitch pregnant. Bitches be like, I've been having sex for 12 years. I never had an orgasm. I don't know what happened.
Right.
Tell us about how you feel about your the TikTok.
I honestly really agree. I mean, it's definitely very surface for men. That's why I love when comedians break shit down like that, because that's literally just how I see it. It's like, it definitely is just very surface based. We're like, man, this is what you're supposed to do, bro. Like, it is what it is. Like, it is whatever.
Let me tell you, there's this one earlier about this woman who talked about girls and how unfair sex is for women until we get into our 20s. And she was like, men, it's great for men. Or no, she was talking about how she didn't want to have sex with a younger man. She was like, I'm in my 30s. I don't want to have sex with a younger man. I had sex with a younger man when I was 18, and I wasn't for it. She was like, I was 18, he was 18. He thought it was great. It sucked. She was like, all we did before our 20s. She was like, women, we suck a lot of dick. Men, don't do anything. She was like, never let an 18-year-old dude eat you out. She was like, it's like he's trying to find the bottom of something. It's not there. And That one was so, like it fucked me up because I actually thought about it for a second. Like, that's so true. Like, I sucked a lot of dicks, and I did not get a lot of oral. Like, it was really unfair. So that's why we didn't go with that one today.
That's aggressive.
So how do we solve this though? Because like I see this a lot when people talk about they talk about two undesirable situations. Which future do we want to move towards? Right? Like, do you want to you can either not have sex until your 20s because you don't think it's going to be good for you, or you could try and educate the other people to make them better partners, and then you can have the sex. But that's really hard. And not really.
And I think it's ridiculous, right? Because if you're going to actually if you're going to get to a point where you're having sex with a person, you should be comfortable enough to talk about what that looks like for you or what that is. And this is where we fail. People get so uncomfortable still. Mm-hmm. And that's weird.
It's actually really hard. I mean, especially if you just met someone to so let me explain to you every
sex is wild, bro. I get it. New sex is crazy.
That's what I hate about dating. The prospect of having sex with someone new is so dreadful.
It's something else, right? It's a lot of pressure.
All the things, oh my God.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot.
It's scary, and you gotta learn what they like and shit.
Right.
I let people know when we're dating. I be like, look, first of all, I got a 45-minute limit for sex. We gotta get everything done within an hour because I don't because I get tired. Like, you're not getting no 3-hour sex with dogs for me.
And over time,
I go to bed.
Reduces. I'm not young.
I'm 30 now. I set expectations. Like, I'm going to bed at 9:30. We need to start 8:15. Like I need a 15-minute cleanup time. No, I have to have these conversations about sex with people.
I respect that. Like, if I was the kind of guy who needed 2-hour sexathons in my life, then I'd be like, I appreciate that you told me that, because now I'm not going to spend the next 10 years of my life trying to stretch you out to an hour, to an hour and a half.
And then you gotta talk about stuff when you get old. You gotta be like, look, I gotta get this pillow right here because I don't bend the same way I used to bend back in the day. Like,
girl,
when you get old, it gets
the old conversations are real. Listen, my back spasms when we're in this position, so I'm gonna need you to put me in this position only, okay?
Right, and please don't lift my leg that high. Because I want to finish.
Too real.
I mean, you can try it, but there's risk involved. It can overbalance. We could all end up in the hospital. So just don't chance
it. So one day I fell. I fell out the bed. And I was so scared. I was so scared. I was so scared I was going to end up on Sex Sent Me to the ER because I did not fall. I did not fall correctly. And I was like, no, we're done. Actually, I'm going to go take a bath right now. And it was terrifying.
Yo.
I would have shouted you out, had you. I would have been like, hey, Michelle. I love her.
Jermaine.
If it's any consolation, you didn't know me yet at the time.
Yeah, I didn't know her. That wasn't me.
That wasn't him.
That wasn't me. It's crazy.
We're adults. Our sex is safe now.
I'm careful. I'm old. This is from a high school, a softball coach who pled guilty to sleeping with a student.
A former coach at a local high school now admits she had sexual contact with a player on her team. Ashley Ryson coached at New Miami High School. She pleaded guilty yesterday to sexual battery and gross sexual imposition for events that took place in the spring of 2021. Ryson could receive up to 8 years in prison when she is sentenced next month.
That's crazy.
You know, the thing that I like about the amount of traction the story has gotten is, A, I'm so glad they're no longer making Mary Kay Letourneau so famous. Like, that shit was okay. But B, I'm so glad that they're acknowledging that women can be predators too.
That's a great
I'm
point.
so over people acting as if only male teachers can be predators. And I get it. The idea for teenage boys, I slept with my hot teacher, is sometimes different for teenage girls. But nowadays, teenagers are on like a whole nother level.
They really.
So I'm glad that this woman is gonna, get like the family will get the justice that they deserve, because it's just not okay.
I think I haven't looked them up recently, but I think the stats are pretty clear that female predators, they happen, but they're sort of an aberration. But I mean, there's a reporting bias there too. That's pretty big. So,
wow.
I'm sure there's a lot more than are reported. But my recollection was that mostly it is people who like get convicted and go to jail and stuff. It's mostly
actually. Do you think it's because they look for men more to do it? They don't really look to women. They wouldn't really think that women would do that.
I think it's a factor that there's like a reporting problem. A lot of people don't want to admit that they were victimized by a woman because in women, it's true with violence as well. That plays out that they can get away with a lot of violence and they'll use weapons and they'll go farther a lot of times than men. And they'll be more thoughtful about it because they understand that societally the pressure, there's less likely that they'll be convicted for it or taken seriously
and there you just said it right there. It's the societal way of thinking that suggests that women can't do these things or won't perpetrate these things.
I also think, like I said, it's because of how it looks for a young man. Typically getting with an older woman is like, man, I get to knock this off my belt, I get to brag to my boys. For young girls, it's not always the same. And so I think when people look at that situation as well, that comes into play because unfortunately, men get raised as if like, oh, you have to be a man's man and you should feel honored to have sex with this woman. Or think about the amount of men that are still taking their sons to like brothels or like hiring hookers for them to lose their virginities and stuff like that. So those men probably think that this shit's okay.
I think the thing that'll blow my mind is that they think they'll never get caught. Like, you work at a school. They have eyes on you. You know what I'm saying?
Someone is always watching you.
Someone.
Or not.
Always. You tell the wrong person and it gets around. You can't trust a high schooler to keep something like that under wraps. You can't.
The last thing I'll say about this, too, is I appreciate parents that are our age now. Like, sometimes I don't appreciate them, but times like this, I do. Because parents that are our age will go up to the school with no fear and be like, I can't believe you touched my kid. I will fight you in the street right now.
You lie not, girl.
Whereas our parents were so, like, private about everything. And they weren't about to make a fuss or anything. So I'm glad that whoever this child's mother is
I will beat you to your vote if you touch my child.
That's right, Tremaine. I'm going to beat you till you vote.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us, everybody in Clubhouse. Tremaine, Sean, we had
Shalia, Katrina, Amanda, Logic.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Seriously. We appreciate that.